Hello everyone, my name is Carrie Wilson, but you have to call me Sister Wilson. But I will be your instructor for Counseling 3308, Crisis, Trauma, and Grief. So welcome to class. I look forward to working with you this semester, and I believe we're gonna have a great time together. I just wanted to take a moment to give you a brief introduction to the class. I believe it's going to be a great semester, but you'll get out of it what you're willing to put into it. Our values here at TBC are His Spirit, diligence, and humility. If you will commit to living out these values as you work through this class, then I believe you'll be successful. This class matters to you as a future counselor, as a future pastor, and as a future ministry leader, because any individual that you work with in the future will potentially present with crisis, trauma, and grief experience. And it's important for you to be familiar with these issues. And that's what this class will provide, is an opportunity to become familiar. So let's review the class syllabus to see what's in store for your learning experience with me. The class syllabus is posted in Populi on the syllabus page, under the syllabus heading, and on the lesson page in week 1 module. So 2 places. On the syllabus page, under the syllabus heading, and on the lesson page under the week 1 module. All right, so the required text is also posted in Populi. It's under the syllabus page under reading list heading. So your reading requirement is also listed on, or your text requirement is also listed on the syllabus on page 4 under required course text. And the first required text that you need to have for this class is Principles of Trauma Therapy, a Guide to Symptoms, Evaluation, and Treatment, 2nd edition. And this is authored by John N. Breyer and Catherine Scott. The second required text that you need to have for this class is called Grief, Contemporary Theory and the Practice of Ministry, written by Melissa M. Kelly. Other miscellaneous readings will be assigned, but I will provide that to you. You do not have to purchase that information. It will be posted under the designated week where the reading assignment is assigned, and I will have that posted in Populi for you. Your syllabus also has a list of recommended texts that are not required for this class, but certainly will help speak to the topics that we'll be discussing. So would be good resources for you to utilize if you can get access to them when you write your research paper, or if you want to go deeper in your learning experience beyond what I'm presenting in the class. And that is on page 4 of your syllabus. Other resources are also posted in Populi. So you have a APA help resource that's posted on the syllabus page in Populi, and it is under links and files over to the side of the Populi syllabus page. And this provides APA help. So the link will take you to Purdue OWL to give you the specifics about the current edition of APA. And then also it has a template provided that you can print out or you can download to your laptop for you to follow an example of what APA headings look like, an APA title page, an APA abstract, APA reference page, what in-text citation should look like in APA format. So just all the different parts of completing a paper in APA format. There's a template there that gives you an example. So your assignments, before we start that, I want to go over our learning objectives, which is listed on your syllabus on page 1 under student learning outcomes. So our learning objectives for this class are to define and describe crisis, trauma, and grief. So we'll be defining those terms and what that looks like and how people experience them, and what crisis experience actually is, what trauma experience actually is, and what grief actually is. We also want to identify and explain crisis, trauma, and grief experiences and the impact of these experiences on individuals. The third outcome or goal that we want to reach is to be able to identify and apply treatment strategies for addressing crisis, trauma, and grief. And then finally, the fourth objective is to identify the role of spirituality and biblical application in treatment of individuals who are experiencing crisis, trauma, and grief. As far as your assignments and grade percentages, the first assignment listed on your syllabus is actually starts on page 2, is classroom participation. And as an online student, you're expected to turn in your assignments on time. You're expected to communicate with me regarding any questions or any needs that you might have, or any follow-up with regards to what you've learned, or if you need clarification, just whatever reason that you would need to communicate with me, that you do that through email. And also your participation in the discussion post, assignments, and the interaction that will be happening there. So as an online student, that's how you will be graded for class participation, since you're not actually being graded for attendance on campus. Your attendance will be based on your involvement in those interactions. The next assignment, and class participation will be 20% of your grade. The next assignment that you will have, or the next group of assignments, you'll have 4 discussion posts with responses that you'll need to interact with your classmates in. Those will be 25% of your grade. The third way that I will assess you is through 3 case studies that you will complete. Those will be 25% of your grade, and 1 research paper is 30% of your grade. All of the details regarding these assignments are listed in your syllabus and explained and spelled out. So be sure to look at page 2. It starts on page 2. All the explanations of all these assignments start on page 2 and goes all the way to the top of page 4. So make sure that you open up your syllabus in Populi, and you can print it out from Populi if you like to have a paper copy. You can download it to your laptop if you prefer to have it electronically accessible, or you can just leave it in Populi and just access it anytime you want. In Populi, the important thing, it doesn't really matter to me what you do with being able to access the syllabus. If you want to have a paper copy on your desktop, or just keep it in Populi, it doesn't matter to me. What does matter to me is that you actually open it up and read it and look at it, because it's very detailed, and most of the questions that you would have with regards to the expectations of this class is going to be in the syllabus. Obviously, if you don't understand something, I'm more than happy to explain or to clarify or to answer. And if I've made a mistake somewhere, then call me out and I'll fix it. I won't ever get upset if I've made a mistake and I need to fix my mistake. I'll fix it, and I'll give you credit for whatever is related to that mistake of me that I may have made. So please make sure you call me out on that, because sometimes there's typos, sometimes something gets overlooked, or I'll say something in class and it won't be listed on the syllabus, or it'll be listed on the syllabus and I'll accidentally say something different in class. So if I ever do that, just be sure to call me out and I'll correct it. And you won't lose any kind of credit if it has anything to do with my mistake. So my expectation is that you actually read the syllabus and make sure that you understand all the expectations that are listed there. If you'll look on page 6 of your syllabus, you'll have an explanation of due dates for all the different assignments. You'll have an explanation of research paper mechanics, what plagiarism means and our expectations regarding that, and then what attendance looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and turn to page 6 and address those areas for you. But again, read it for yourself so that you get a good understanding of it. So assignment due dates. Assignments are due on the date indicated on the assignment schedule, and towards the end of the syllabus, you'll see the schedule for this class for this semester that gives you what to expect for each class, for each week, and for each assignment with regards to when it's going to be due and what the type of assignment is. It's very, very important that you understand that since the discussion post assignments are about engaging with your classmates in the context to the current subject that we're focusing on, there is no acceptance of any late initial discussion post and there is no acceptance of any late discussion response under any circumstance. The point of the discussion post is for you students to engage with each other, to stimulate conversation regarding the topics that we're learning about. And having those kinds of engagements is considered active learning. And that active learning deepens your understanding of the topic that we're covering and the information that I need you to understand. So if you're late and you don't post your discussion, your initial post, in time for people to respond, then you've negated that whole experience. And then if you fail to respond to somebody else's post, again, you've negated the experience. So late posts, whether it's initial or whether it's a response post, there's no acceptance of anything late. So you will get 0 if it's not turned in on time. And all of that will be done in Populi under the discussion post provisions. Also, the next assignment that I'd like to address is case studies. Case studies are assigned specific to what we're discussing at the time. So there will be no acceptance for late case studies. So it needs to be turned in on the date that it is assigned. As far as late research paper, if your paper is turned in late, I will only accept a late paper based on an extreme circumstance. An extreme circumstance can be explained under course requirements in your syllabus. So make sure you read course requirements, and then it'll give you the explanation of what would be legitimate reasons for needing to turn in a research paper late. If you have to turn in your research paper late, there's going to be a 5-point reduction per calendar day up to the last day of class. The student, you are responsible for making sure that your paper is turned in by 11:59 p.m. of the due date. No research papers will be accepted after the last day of class. So that's on page 6. You can go back and reread it. With regards to research paper mechanics, you have to submit it as a MS Word document in Populi. Do not email me your paper, and do not submit a file or I can't remember what the name of it is, a PDF file. Do not submit your paper as a PDF file. The reason is because I like to track my edits or my comments to the things that I'm grading on your paper and why I'm grading it the way I am. I like to provide those comments for you to be able to see what I'm thinking when I'm grading your papers, because you can learn from that. If you turn it in as a PDF file, I can't do that. The only way that I can do that is if it's an MS Word document. If you fail to submit your paper in Populi and email it to me, I will email you back and say, please submit this in Populi. I will not accept your paper in an email. If there's some problem that you're having with Populi, you need to see Sister Alex Reed in the in the main office to help you fix your problem with Populi. But you have to communicate with me if you're having an issue with Populi. And if you don't communicate with me, then I'm not going to know that you can't submit your paper. So any of your assignments or papers have to be submitted to me in Populi unless there's some kind of issue that we've had a conversation about. Please do not email it. And then plagiarism. Plagiarism, please don't plagiarize. It's stealing. And believe me, you might think that you can sneak one in on us, but you can't. We can tell when somebody is not writing in the voice that is typical to that particular individual. It's very obvious when that happens. If you plagiarize, just look at it this way. It's taking somebody else's words and acting as if that they're your own words. Well, that doesn't sound like such a big deal until you compare it to breaking and entering into someone's house and stealing their jewelry and acting like it's your jewelry, or stealing their money and acting like it's your money. Plagiarism is stealing other people's ideas and intellectual property, and it's claiming that it's your words when in fact it's somebody else's words. It's somebody else's effort that was put into conducting the research that provided the information that you're reading about. And if you copy and paste, or if you just type word for word what somebody else has said and act like that's your stuff, and you don't give any credit through in-text citation by including quotation marks and the reference source on your reference page, then you've stolen their intellectual property as if you've stolen their money, and you've used it like it was yours. And that's stealing, but it's not just stealing, it's also lying, and it's cheating. So it's very important, and it's a very serious issue. You could get a 0 on your assignment. You could actually get kicked out of the class for plagiarizing, and you could actually get kicked out of school for plagiarizing. So don't plagiarize. If you need to remember this information regarding plagiarism, look at page 6 under the heading plagiarism on your syllabus, or you can come and talk to me. Attendance, it's important that you show up to class. If you don't show up to class, well, being that this is online, it's important that you look at your modules, your lessons, and complete your assignments. If you don't complete your assignments, if you don't open up the modules and read the assignments that have been assigned and engage in the course, then you're not going to learn anything from the course. I mean, that's just common sense. So your attendance matters. So if you are not engaging in the class, if you are not opening up each week lesson to view the content that's there that shows you what's expected for that week, then you're not engaging in the class. If you're not posting your discussion posts, then you're not engaging in the class. If you're not turning in your assignments, then you're not engaging in the class. Therefore, you're not learning. If you're not reading the chapters that are assigned, again, you're not engaging in the class and you're not learning. There is a part of Populi that allows me to see if you've opened up the week module. So I'm able to see how much you're engaging and how long you spend in that module to make sure that you're getting the lesson expectation. So if you're not doing it, it will affect your participation grade. And then of course, as your student handbook explains, after so many classes, I have to report you to the administration. And if you have a certain amount of absences, then you will actually be removed from the class. So make sure that you show up for class. Finally, on pages 8 through 12 of your syllabus is a breakdown of the class schedule and the due dates for our assignments. So make sure that you look at those pages. It pretty much spells out everything that we're going to be doing for each week. So make sure that you look at that. Again, if you have any questions, if you need anything from me, if you need any kind of clarification, if you need just to have a conversation, whatever, you can contact me. And my info is at the top right of your syllabus. It has my email and I think my phone number. It also has my office hours of when I can meet in person if you need that. So talk to me. I won't know you have a problem. I won't know that you have a question. I won't know that you need help if you don't talk to me. So please, please, please talk to me. All right, so that's it for this time. I hope you have a great week. Welcome to TBC. Welcome back to campus. And God bless each of you. I'm excited.